Mercedes-Benz has been around for a long time, but are they doomed? Are they even in a trouble a little bit? Lot? Maybe? Who knows? There's a few ways we can measure that, and that's what we're going to do in this, our ongoing series, Are They Doomed? I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So we're talking today about Mercedes-Benz. Yes, the driving luxury machine known as Mercedes. Engineering, first of the 5 categories we're looking at. How is it? Well, I mean, it's Mercedes. They have fantastic engineering. They have fantastic safety. But how much of that's going to be able to carry forward from what they've always done into the future in which they have been thrust? So we're looking at their engineering prowess, and it's okay. It's okay. 2024 Mercedes-Benz EQS gets more range, up to 339. We're in the right ballpark there, but on a 118 kilowatt hour battery with added efficiency. The improved efficiency, that's great. That's what you want to see. Would have been nice if we could have seen it a little sooner, but they're working on it. It is a work in progress. Substantially better, but 118 kilowatt hour battery. That's like Cybertruck big. That's not great. Plaid has, I think, just 100 kilowatt hour battery. The Model Y and 3 have like 75 kilowatt hour batteries. Depends which one you're looking at and where it's made. So that's not great. 339 miles let's see, is the total range. But if we look at efficiency, which is where we can see the engineering prowess come into play, you're seeing it's 400 watts a mile. That's really high. 400, 390, 410 watts a mile. That's not good. You got 444 watts per mile. That's not good. If we look at that as a comparison on the engineering front versus what did I put it up against? A Model X. Because, I mean, really, that's what it is. Even the Model X being huge, 33 kilowatt hours, 330 watts per mile. And if you're comparing it to a Model Y, which is much smaller, that 330 goes down. It's a lower number. Although in my experience, it's, I guess a little lower than that. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll have to look. So yeah, it's only $500. It's $100 a year less in annual fuel cost. I don't know. But you can configure this. We're on fueleconomy.gov, which gives you the ability to compare all kinds of vehicles. Pretty interesting. That's not to say they don't have great engineering. I don't know if you've heard of the EQXX. It demonstrated a world-beating efficiency in real-world driving. It went 1,000 kilometers on one charge and used 8.7 kilowatt hours per kilometer, which is great because I don't know how to compare that, but it's very good. 621 miles on a charge. And it looks like a real car. It has mirrors. It has airbags. It's a real car. I don't know what is missing. I don't know what they did to get it so incredibly efficient. Hopefully, this is a real tech that can really come to real products in the foreseeable future. So for engineering, what are we giving Mercedes? I'm going to say 7. 7. Yeah, that's fine. They've got a long way to go, but they've come a long way already. And if this proves real, which I don't see why it wouldn't, it does look a little small, but I like it in a lot of ways, especially the efficiency. Subscribe. Hey, do me a favor. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So let's talk about demand. Is there demand for Mercedes? Well, yes, kind of. If you look at, I think there's a chart on here, wasn't there? No, I guess not. Mercedes reached 2.49 million vehicle sales in 2023. So if we're looking at total sales, 2.4, a record. 2022, a little lower. 21, lower. It was 2.8 prior to the pandemic. And I think we've got a number here. This is on the electrics. They're down. They're falling like a rock. They are not doing great. Do I have a chart here? I do not. But they will rebound. They must rebound. There is no choice in the matter. There is no second option. So for demand, well, it is Mercedes. They are still selling well. They are getting their electric fleet in order. I'm going to say six. Six? Sure. Why not? Cost controls. How's their free cash flow doing? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Free cash flow. Tells me their costs are under control. They know their supply chain well. They've been doing it a long time. They have good access to suppliers, to parts and suppliers, everything they need. That looks pretty good. Cost controls, I guess I'm going to say 8, in part because they also have very high margins. Cash on hand. How we doing? How we doing, cash on hand? Anything scary going on? Pretty good. 20 to 30 billion. That's great. That is enough money to invent new products. That is enough money to build new factories. I'm giving them the elusive 10 on cash on hand, because that is 24 billion. They're not trying to build robots. They're not trying to build Dojo. Maybe they should be, but they're not. This is enough cash to move them forward. And you can see some years are better than others, but they're doing pretty good. And they've had some, drops, but they had been at 40 very recently. Again, during the pandemic, these guys really stocked up on cash during that time. Wow. So roadmap, this is where it gets a little trickier. We saw that amazing car. What we didn't see was a plan to actually commercialize it. How are you going to commercialize? You got to commercialize it, you guys. You've got to. It is required. Maybe they will. So what's the roadmap? Well, electrification. It is electrification, you guys. Ambition 2039. 15 years out. Well, that's definitely not during this CEO's tenure. Probably not the next CEO's either. These are meaningless. Carbon neutral by 2039. Well, that is 11 years faster than Nissan or Mazda. Not great. Electrically powered vehicles from Mercedes are already enjoying increasing popularity. The company delivered 45,000 electric vehicles and hybrids in 2020. So this might be a little out of date. Mercedes won't go all electric by 2030, as they had once promised. That's the first crack in the facade. They're pumping the brakes on electrification. They really don't want to do it. You see, you can make a bunch of money on internal combustion, or you can lose some money, maybe break even on EVs. Maybe we can make a little money on hybrids. But you see, there is regulations from the EU that will ban petrol and diesel cars from 2035. This is an EU-wide regulation. So they're saying, yeah, but if we can't beat the game, if we can't win fair and square, maybe we'll game the refs and get new rules. Italy and Germany join car makers and call to rethink the gas ban. That's their strategy. Guys, rethink it all you want. You're not going to sell in China. You're not going to sell in California or Washington or Oregon or any of the states that are having looming bans on non-clean vehicles. Yeah, Italy and Germany join the call to fight. Because if you can't win, you got to fight. So that's a little crazy. So let's get to the rating. Let's see how they're doing. And I should mention that on this next page here, let's just get to it. Here's the chart. If you see a company that's missing from this list that should be on it, let me know. If these videos do well, I'll do as many companies as you like, as often as you like. But I think there's a lot of room here for fun and insight. And if you agree, leave me a comment. And if you disagree, definitely leave me a comment. But whatever you do, leave a comment. It's required. It is actually mandatory. So let's get to the ratings here. We said 7, 6, 8, 10. And on the roadmap, I'm giving them a 3. 4. I'll give them a 4. It's just too brutal, you guys. It's just too brutal. So some of you can math in your heads while I'm talking, but while While I'm talking, I can't do both, you guys. 70, change of just 2. Not bad. Consistent. Surprising, especially with how far Mazda and VinFast shifted on their videos. There's previous ones. You can go back. There's a playlist in the description below. Everybody else, like, subscribe, stay tuned and juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots. In Germany, I guess, perhaps.